Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you grabbed a snack, stayed for a while, and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you could tell by the title of the video, my Natasha Denona order is here. It did come yesterday. Gosh, what time was it? I had already filmed when it came in, so there was no way that I could film. Plus there was like some thunderstorm and whatnot going on. You'll see that in the Makeup by Mario concealer review. So I decided not to stress about it and just do it today. Yeah, I'm super excited. I will be doing 3 looks with this palette. I will also be doing some comparisons. I have a couple of palettes that are not Natasha Denona in mind that I can kind of compare this to, just in case you already own those and you were thinking about picking this up. FYI, it's already sold out at Sephora, which is crazy, but there are so many places that you can get it, including Natasha Denona, and there's some YouTubers who have affiliate links that you can get 15% off, and then also at Ulta. So plenty of places where you can pick this up in case you're waiting to see reviews, eye looks, and whatnot. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with these eye looks because it's already going to be a pretty long video. Alright my lovelies, as you can tell, my face is like halfway done. So Sephora, that's where I purchased mine. There was like an early access if you were a Rouge member. I did order it on that day, but for whatever reason, mine shipped out not as quickly as I thought it was going to, which is fine. Honestly, I mean, it is what it is. Life is crazy. Less than 2 weeks away from my wedding. My oldest birthday is this weekend and we're doing her party and school starts next week, so it's, yeah. So I was gonna be late with my review anyways. This I Need a Nude eyeshadow palette retails for $69 and you can get it, like I said, at Sephora, even though it's sold out, Natasha Denona website, and also at Ulta and Beautylish. I love shopping from Beautylish. Definitely available at plenty of retailers. Okay, so I did go over the product, what to expect in my like first impressions, if I'm going to get it or not, like my thoughts on when she announced this as a whole. So there is a new formula, which is the Wet Effect formula, which I'm excited to try. So lots of good things from this palette. Even though I ordered it through Sephora, I am very glad that it did come in her original packaging. There's like extra padding in here. It was in there. So I was super ecstatic that they used the packaging that Natasha Denona has for when you order directly from her website, because Sephora can sometimes their packaging be like, you know. So this ensured that no shade came broken. Here is the outer unicorn and it has a 24-month shelf life. And where was it made? In Italia. Perfect. And on the back, it has like all of the ingredients for each shade, and then it tells you all of the shades right here. For this palette itself, the shades are on the actual, like underneath the shades, but here it is. I'm kind of getting retro vibe feelings, and not the retro palette, like retro as the ambiance, the retro vibes with this palette. I'm actually digging it. I think I like it. I like it. I feel like it goes on par with the palette itself. And here she is, the lovely. I want to say it's more of a neutral palette, really. Like, even though you do have these 2 pinky tones, and I feel like this one's a little bit more neutral and this one maybe might pull a little bit pink, but honestly, what you see on the pan can translate different on your actual skin tone. So we'll see how this pulls on my actual skin tone. But I would say it's pretty neutral, and I'm kind of feeling like the Starlet palette is a mini version of this vibe.
Okay, I'm excited.
Everything is nice and primed, and we're going to dig right in to the eye looks. More than likely, I will be doing 2 eye looks today, and then on a different day film the other eye look. More than likely tomorrow. I am doing a wear test today for the Makeup by Mario concealer, and that video is probably going to be up before this one. But how good do my under eyes look? very blurred out, don't they? Okay, my lovely. So for this first eye look, we're gonna see how this goes because I usually don't have these bulky lashes in my way. I do have the Natasha Denona, what does she call this? It's like one of the collections. She released some work and set is what I see on here. Some liners. I think it was brown, black, and like a nude shade. I have the brown and we're gonna start with this. I haven't used this in a minute, so we'll see how it goes. But this is the Draw and Diffuse brush. I haven't been able to link this brush because I believe it's sold out. And I'm using the little pencil side. And I'm going to start on the outer corner because this is the shade that we're starting with. I feel like she starts eye looks with her eyeliner. I don't have any of her pencil eyeliners, so we're gonna use this one. Okay, this is the Sigma E42 and I'm gonna start by blending this out. It's a pretty easy eyeliner to work with. I hope you can see. Yeah, I don't know how people do it with lashes. But do you see it did blend out fairly easy? It's a nice formula. I don't know if she still has some of these available in this formula on her line, but I did enjoy this liner the last time I used it and today. Super easy. All right, now I am actually going to, let's dip into this shade here. Hopefully I don't regret it. It is like a metallic shade. I should probably read in the back. Travertine. Yeah, it's a metallic shade. Okay, so this is the Sonia G Crease Pro. And I'm going to add this in the outer corner. I'm kind of going to blend it into this. There's an eye look I saw that she did. And I'm kind of trying to mimic that, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. This is a little bit more icy than I thought it was going to be, but it's fine. It's a pretty color and it's actually working really nice with the Sonia G brush. It's probably because it's not synthetic bristles. We will go back with a liner.
Don't you worry.
I just wanted to lay down this color a tiny bit. Okay, that's what we're looking like. Now we're going to jump in to a matte shade, and I think I'm going to go in for Stone. And for this palette, she has none of her cream to powder mattes. So if you don't like that formula, yay for you. I have no issues. Okay, this is a BK Beauty 202, and I'm going to add this to the crease here and then bring it in. Don't worry, I'm going to go back. If you ever feel like you're losing some of the prior shades you already added, just go back and reinforce the shade. But I feel like I wanted to make this eye look a pretty, like, simple, nothing too intricate for you. Okay, this is what the eye is looking like. Hopefully you could see it behind
all the lashes.
Okay, now we're going to jump into some of these pretty, or at least one. Yeah, let's do one. Let's go ahead and do Sheen, which looks like it's very sheer. I haven't swatched this, so I don't know exactly how the shimmers are. What did I say? Sheen. And Sheen here, it says it's a, what, a GW. Oh, I think that's one of the new formulas, right? So let's try it out. Probably didn't need to put glitter glue, but you already know. So that's gonna go here. And I'm dipping pretty lightly. I don't think this shade has too much base to it, but that's pretty. You see that? Like, for being such a simple shade, it's a pretty impactful. Okay, that's what we got. So next to, I'm looking at the back of the box, to Sheen, it has GW. I'm not sure, glitter wet maybe? I feel like this formula is not impressing me that much. Like, it looks pretty and it does look a tiny bit on the wet side, but once I like put it on the eyes, I even wet my finger after dipping into it to see if it made it more impactful, but
that's all right.
Okay, now I'm going to jump into the lightest matte, which is called Fair. And I cleaned my brush. It's the Draw Diffuse. I'm going to go into the pencil side and I'm going to use that as my inner corner. I think it's light enough to use there. Yeah. I'm not going to put any eyeliner on my waterline. I don't know if you could tell, but this eye is irritated. Okay, so once I'm done with eye look number 2, I'll go ahead and finish off the face and then show you side by side each eye look. But I think it came out beautiful. Very, very simple, easy to do. I did go in and touch up the eyeliner just a tiny bit and created just a slight little smoked out wing. Yeah, but I like this. I like this eye look. Okay, and I don't need to put mascara on, which is nice. Let's start with eye look number 2. And I think for this one, I'm going to dip into at least one of the pinky tone shades. I'm going to start with this shade here, which is Wit. And it's her creamy matte formula. This is a reference number 27. This is going to go in the crease. That first eye look, I see Natasha Denona share, like when she shares eye looks on her Instagram, and she starts with liner for a lot of them. And so I just wanted to try it out, except, you know, I used a pot liner instead of a pencil liner. I thought it would be fun to try it out, you know? Oh, and for this first eye look, that crease shade Stone, I did use it on the lower lash line. It's not there. Sorry, I'm like talking about eye look number 1 and we're already doing eye look number 2. I think I'm going to really blow this shade out and build it up. Okay, that's what that shade looks like. It's a little light for me. Well, not light for me, but it's pulling light on my skin tone. I mean, the fact that I used a very fluffy crease brush probably doesn't help. And I do feel like Natasha Denona's formula is pretty good at building up, so I'm not worried. Okay, I think I'm going to jump into Tender, which is a creamy matte. This is the BK Beauty Crease Pro. I did wipe this off. And if you ever wonder what I clean my brushes in between shades, I use the Daily Brush Cleanser. I do have the Sigma switch, which works decently, but I like using this because it takes all of the pigment out. But it is like an oil-based cleanser, so you do need to give time for it to dry in between. All right, so I'm gonna jump into this shade. What did I say? Tender, which is a creamy matte. Hopefully it'll give me some depth. And we're going pretty cool tone, I guess, with this eye look. Like, even though that pink, I feel like it pulls like a true pink on my skin tone. Just very neutral, right? I really hope you can see what I'm doing with this. Yeah, I'm not about this life. And I am. I did bring that pink shade on the lower lash line, which I'm sure you can see a tiny bit. So I will bring that about a third of the way in. All right, I got my trusty NYX glitter glue on. I do feel that every eye look you come up with is going to be pretty mid-tone or light toned like this, unless you use the darkest matte in this palette. And that's probably the only way you're going to be able to get a true depth or smoke it out. But I feel like every eye look, unless you use the darkest matte, is going to be a pretty mid-tone kind of eye look. Okay, I'm going to jump into this shade here, which is called Filigree. And that is, it says here SF. I don't know what that stands for. Foiled, something foiled. And this is gonna go in the outer portion right there. This is a beautiful shade. You can see the small little glitter sparkles. Every time I say that, it reminds me of Trolls. Okay, now I'm going to jump into Muse, and that is another sparkling foiled. Is that what SF stands for? It could be. I'm going to use my finger. That's going to go here in the inner corner. Oh, that's so pretty. This shade is impressing me more than this shade, which I think is one of the new formulas, if I'm not mistaken. Like, these foiled shades are impressing me a tiny bit more, at least so far. I haven't tried Mia or Delilah, which I think are the new formula shades. But these foiled shades that she has, they're so pretty. Okay, and both of these shimmers, metallics, whatever, that I used on this eyelid, they feel chunky to the touch, both of those shades. Okay, I think now I'm going to jump into Mia. And I'm going to use my Natasha Denona Draw Diffuse brush, the pencil side. I'm going to dip into this and then I'm going to wet the brush. This is going to go in the inner corner. MAC Fix Plus. I'm going to add this in the inner corner and then a tiny bit on the lower lash line. A very, very pretty shade, and it does look wet. All right, my lovelies, I am back. Both eye looks are nice and done. Face is completed. Let me go ahead and tell you everything I have on my face. The plan when I ordered this was to use all Natasha Denona, but I am doing a wear test for the Makeup by Mario concealer because I couldn't do that yesterday. So for the face, the Makeup by Mario foundation, the Makeup by Mario concealer, and then for the cream products, I did go into the new Kevyn Aucoin cream cream contour and cream blush. Formula is amazing. I will be picking up my correct shade for sure. For the powders, I have the Laura Mercier for all over the face, and for my under eyes, I have the Press NARS powder. Powder bronzer, I have the House Labs in shade medium level 5, and for the blush, the powder blush, I have the new Chanel that I recently reviewed. So pretty. I've really been loving this. I might actually use this for my wedding. For the highlight, I have on the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette in shade Light. I went into the highlighter. For the lips, I have on some Natasha Denona items. This is one of her older lip liners. I don't think these are available anymore, and if they are, I'm pretty sure it's only a couple of shades. L6, but it's a very pretty, like almost warm tone kind of contouring shade. And then the Natasha Denona gloss, this was part of the My Dream collection and it is so good. It is the absolute most fabulous lip gloss I have ever tried, ever. And I don't like lip glosses, so if this is still available and you're looking for a lip gloss, pick it up because it's so good. Okay, I think that's it for what else is on my face, but let's look at these eye looks. I think they look different. The eyelashes are totally throwing me off. All right, so eye look number 1. So pretty. All right, eye look number 2. Okay, I do feel like a lot of the eye looks that you create with this palette are going to look very similar. Definitely a neutral palette. I actually like both of these. This one is like simple but a little bit dramatic at the same time, and then this one is like dramatic but simple at the same time. I hope that makes sense. I did use quite a bit of the shades. Let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. I used 7 out of the 15 shades, which is great. Okay, I'm going to hand you off to eye look number 3. It's going to be a different day for me, but same video for you. So, eye look number 3. Okay, eye look number 3. It is very cloudy today, as you all know or can assume.
It's a different day.
I will do my best to try and use the rest of the shades that I have not used. Luckily, I haven't swatched this, so I already know exactly which ones they are. All right, I think for today's look, I'm going to start with this shade here, Vogue. And that's one of the creamy matte formulas. This is a BK Beauty 201. And today's eye look is going to be on both eyes. I'm going to start that here on the outer corner. I'm still trying to get used to these lashes, and then my eye is still a little irritated. It doesn't hurt, it just looks horrible. All right, so now I'm going to jump into Stone, which is a creamy matte shade. This is in It Brushes for Ulta, number 105. This is going to go also in the outer corner, but I'm gonna try and intensify that outer corner a tiny bit more. Okay, now with this shader crease brush, it's collaboration from Samantha with Sigma, her brush set. I'm going to jump into the darkest matte, which is Silhouette, and it's a creamy matte formula. It's gonna go in the outer corner, give me a tiny bit more depth. Okay, trusty NYX glitter glue is on. So I'm going to do some shimmers now, and I'm going to start with Ella right here, and then I'm going to jump into Delilah right here. Ella is that chunky kind of metallic. So it has SF, so I'm guessing sparkly foil is what that stands for. It's pretty sparkly, very, very pretty. So far, these sparkly foil shades have impressed me more than the new formula, but I haven't really applied them on the whole lid. So I'm still giving that formula the benefit of the doubt, but so far the foiled shades are impressing me more. Okay, Delilah, which is one of the new formulas. It feels very wet. It does feel wet, almost like a gel. So more than likely, be careful that you don't get hard pan on those. So that's very pretty. So this formula is kind of reminding me of like a topper kind of formula. Like the base is very light, almost non-existent, and I feel like the pigment is coming from the sparkles and not from there being actual pigment on these. All right, now we're going to jump into Whisper, and we're going to use that as the inner corner shade. And I think the only shade I haven't used is Mesh, which I feel is a lighter shade to this one here, right? And Whisper is described as a metallic, so it's probably like your regular old school 2016 kind of metallic formula, the one that Pat McGrath includes in every single palette for like an inner corner shade. That's what I'm thinking this one's going to be like. I did spray my brush. This is the Natasha Denona Draw Diffuse brush. So pretty, very metallic. Okay, let me go ahead and finish off this eye look, and I will be right back. All right, my lovelies, here is eye look number 3, nice and completed. No eyeliner. You already know I'm not a huge fan of eyeliner. Plus, with the irritation in my eye, I'm not even going to attempt. So pretty. Definitely more glam, I feel, than eye looks number 1 and 2. Okay. Do not forget to let me know down below which eye look is your favorite. I think this one's going to have to be it for me. Although eye look number 1 is actually also very pretty. Okay, for the rest of my face, everything that I used for eye looks 1 and 2, it's the same, exactly the same. So now we're going to move on to comparisons, and I'll put a clip in of the swatches.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been how long? At least 6 hours since I filmed, and this eye look is still looking bomb.com. All right, so comparisons. There are so many comparisons I want to do. Picked out a couple of palettes, so I will try and keep it quick. All right, first one I wanted to do was the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette in Light, because I feel like possibly maybe this could possibly be an extension of this, right? For sure. I feel like whatever eye look you create with this, it could look similar to what you could create with the new I Need a Nude palette. All right, the other popular one is the Biba palette. I'm gonna try and be careful because a couple of shades in here are loose. And I would definitely say that I feel like the I Need a Nude palette maybe is a tiny bit more on the neutral side, and the Biba is more warm, isn't it? Even though the Biba palette I feel is advertised as a neutral palette. I'm not so sure. Okay, I think we're going to do all of the Natasha Denona comparisons, and then the other ones that I pulled out of my collection that are from a different brand after. The My Dream palette. Like, I know this one is like the black background kind of throws you off, But I do feel there are some similarities. This one's definitely a lot darker, and I feel like you can get warm and cool tones with this one. You should see my floor, it is a mess. Okay, the retro palette. I think maybe 1 or 2 shades in here, possibly, but honestly, not much. Yeah. Like, I feel like you're not going to find an exact dupe in the Natasha Denona line, but you will find similar shades in other palettes. Okay, the infamous one that we thought of when this was sneak peeked, finally announced, the Glam palette. And I feel like, in a way, yes, but also in a way, no. I feel like I personally see more warm tone in the Glam palette than I do in the I Need a Nude. I feel like the I Need a Nude definitely pulls pretty neutral. I'm sure it can depend on your skin tone, but yeah. Okay, a couple of mini palettes from Natasha Denona. The Nude palette, the mini Nude. Honestly, this is not even gonna be close because it's pretty warm, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to pull it out.
Mommy?
Okay. All right, and then I did pull out, what is this? The mini Biba palette. Yeah, not even close. I can't even get away for 5 minutes because something happens. Okay, a couple of non-Natasha Denona palettes. The Dominique Cosmetics Essential palette. It's not gonna be the exact same, but I feel like similar vibes, right? A tiny bit. Figured it wouldn't hurt to compare this to the new Natasha Denona palette. I'm almost done. I need to hurry up. The Patrick Ta, now that I look at it, maybe not, but the Major Dimension palette. I think this is just too warm, so it's probably pointless, but yeah, not even close. Figured why not. This one from Artist Couture. I don't even know if this is available anymore. The Quickie palette. A tiny bit, just a couple of shades, but not really. And one that I saw being compared, and I told myself I didn't even think of that palette. So, was it the Rose Quartz? I think it was the Rose Quartz. I feel like the pinky tones are a no-go, but all the other ones, possibly maybe, like the mauve gray, almost stone shades. A little bit, maybe. Figure it wouldn't hurt to compare. And last but certainly not least, the Man Eater Tarte palette. I don't know, I just figured I kind of got a close vibe to this. No, not close. I'm not gonna swatch. There are so many other YouTubers out there that did do swatch comparisons. I'm sure you can hear the chaos below. Unfortunately, I'm not at the time in my life where I can sit here and spend a couple of hours filming a video. I just can't. So apologies. I will definitely link down below other videos where they did go into depth in doing swatch comparisons.
I can't right now.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the 3 eye looks and the side-by-side comparisons that I did with all the palettes that I can think of in my collection. There's probably more, but I'm kind of out of time. All hell's breaking loose. All hell's breaking loose. Yeah, so. All right, my lovelies, well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea. All the comments, all the likes. If you use my links to shop, it truly does mean the world to me. Don't forget to let me know which eye look is your favorite. With that being said, I would love it if you gave this video a big ol' thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and you would definitely help me out in the algorithm of hopefully bringing some new and fresh eyes to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my small YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you all on the next video. Bye.